Hi everyone, and welcome to Speech 1318 in this spring semester 2021. I am Melanie Steele. I'll be your professor for this semester, and this is interpersonal communication. So a couple things that I wanted to just go ahead and talk about right off the bat for this course is, yes, this is an online course. However, this course is synchronous, which means you're not just going to have all of the information online and you can log in when you want to and get the lessons and the recordings when you want to. Instead, we have a synchronous course, which means that we will have a class meeting time. So as I go through a lot of information, I wanted to just make sure this was clear. So you can see here on the syllabus that it will be Tuesday and Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1:20. Now, later in the syllabus and some other places, I marked there's a few occasions where we won't meet, including this first class. But for the most part, we will be meeting via WebEx Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 p.m. to 1:20 p.m. And you'll receive the link for that. However, because some of us may not be used to synchronous classes, I wanted to give us a break on the first day, simply to give you time to get acquainted with the course, some understanding, look at the syllabus, kind of navigate D2L. I'm not sure how many online courses you've taken. And then that way, when we meet on Thursday of this week, the 21st, we can not only cover chapter 1, but also answer any questions that you may have. So I just thought it was an easier way to start our semester, again, mainly for those of you who may not be used to this type of course. So let me go back, and I just want to cover some things on the syllabus. Again, if you have questions, feel free to email me or write them down so you can remember them, and we can talk about those on Thursday. You will see that I do have my office phone number on here. Unfortunately, we as faculty are still discouraged from being on campus, so I will not be in my office to answer that phone. Having said that, all of the voicemails will go to my email directly. So it's a lot of times easier and faster to email me, but in the event that you really need to speak your message and get it to me that way, that is available as well. With that said, I also will not be holding traditional office hours. I will be having office hours via WebEx, and I have a personal WebEx room. It's right here, and I'll post it other places as well. And you can see my hours that I will be kind of hanging out on WebEx waiting to talk to you. Whether you have a question about the course or you need further help in terms of understanding something or understanding an assignment, or you just want to come in and chat, please let me know. You'll also see there that it says by appointment. Just because you may not be able to make it during one of those times listed does not mean that we don't have the opportunity to chat. So just let me know and I will go from there and we can help each other out. All right, so introduction to speech communication. So this is the wrong syllabus. That should be updated. See, we catch our own mistakes. This is actually interpersonal communication. I changed everything else. So you'll see here that this is interpersonal communication. And what is this course? So interpersonal communication, as you see here, is the application of communication theory to interpersonal relationship development, maintenance, and termination in the relationship context, including friendships, romantic partners, families, and relationships with coworkers and supervisors. One of the things that I love about teaching this course is it's something that we can all identify with and have experience with. We have relationships, whether it's a family member or a coworker or a significant other, and we have to deal with forming these relationships, navigating these relationships, what happens if and when they end. And so I really enjoy this course because I think it is a course that my students get a lot out of in terms of practical information. You may come to a class one day and learn about conflict management and then use that the following day at work. And I really hope that this course does give us some type of real tangible application. So when I teach this course, there are really two parts of it that are really important. So the first is concepts. While application is really important, you can't apply the information if you don't know what the concepts mean. So what you'll see is that we'll talk about terms and theories and vocabulary, and that's just kind of our vehicle to be able to apply it to our lives. And so both of those parts are incredibly important in this class. It's a really great class. Last semester was the first time that I taught it completely online, and I missed the interaction with my students because we really can have some great discussions over these topics. And so I'm excited about having this course synchronous this semester so that even though it's not ideal, we can still have that back and forth. All right, so you will see the textbook here. It is called Interpersonal Communication by Corey Floyd. We have switched to the 4th edition. I am fine for this semester if you use the 3rd or the 4th edition, whichever you can get a hold of easiest. Again, there's more stuff in the syllabus about the course. I'm not going to go through all of this. You can take the time to do that, but there are some things that I wanted to highlight. Even though this is online, we are meeting in a synchronous format, and so I will take attendance. I know things happen, but to allow us to have that back and forth, we really need to be present in this course, okay? So that's really important. So you will be, your participation grade will come from 2 things: attending the class meetings via WebEx twice a week, as well as being an active participant in the course. So you will be penalized 10 points on your final participation grade after the first 4 absences, because I understand that things happen. So I want this to be there, and I want it to hold us accountable, but I also want to be understanding. If things come up, y'all please let me know, okay? Assignments, you want to make sure that you are finding the assignments, you're locating. I will do a quick overview of that today so you can start to learn how to navigate D2L. I did want to mention something. I have changed my late work policy just a little bit, so I wanted to go over that. So all assignments except for chapter quizzes, discussion post, and the final exam will be accepted up to 2 weeks late with a 20% late penalty. I felt like this would really help give students that miss an opportunity the opportunity to make up for a 0, but still be held accountable. So you'll see that. The only other issue there is that you'll see the final presentation. I can only accept that until the last day of the semester for obvious reasons. So be sure to take advantage of this if it's something that you may need. So class meeting expectations, you can read through this. Even though our meetings will be synchronous via WebEx, there will still be an expectation of proper classroom management, proper classroom etiquette during our class sessions. So specifically, this means that I want you to work to eliminate any unnecessary noise, mute when you're not speaking in class, have your camera turned on, eliminate distractions that might be behind you. I know we may not always have the perfect setup, but do what we can. Again, in order to encourage this class communication and participation, I have decided that if your camera is not turned on during class, you will be counted absent because I really want to see our faces and get us connected. If there are issues going on, reach out to me and we can talk about that. Part of this class, we're going to talk about email and proper communication and the proper channels of communication. And so there's a great little part here in terms of how to properly write an email. There are some frequently asked questions. I'm going to skim along because you can read most of this yourself. So what are we going to be doing in this class? You will have a film analysis paper. All of this I'm just going to mention briefly because we will go over this as things come up. You will have reflection memos. So this essentially goes back to what I was talking about in terms of knowing the concepts and being able to apply it to your own life. I know not everyone might be willing to unmute themselves on WebEx and share something that they feel is very private. And this reflection memo gives you the opportunity to do that in a more private way, just between the two of us. You will have quizzes, you will have a midterm exam, a final presentation, online participation, which we talked about. This will come from being in classes on WebEx, online discussions that you'll have weekly or per chapter, any chapter activities, and so on and so forth, and then your final exam. So the main part of the syllabus, which is really helpful, and I know all of you want to look at, this comes right here. This is our outline. Again, things may change. We have learned to be flexible in this last year, but this is a pretty good understanding of what our course is going to look like. So you will see our Tuesday, Thursdays here. You'll see here on this first one, we are not meeting, as I've talked about, so that you can kind of navigate the course. And then starting on the 21st, you'll be able to look in and see what topic it will be talking about during that class meeting. You can see that some of the chapters may take up 2 classes, some of the chapters may take up 3 classes, just to really get into that material. On the far right side here, you'll see kind of what is expected of you for that week or for that chapter. So you'll see that week 1, what do I need you to do? I need you to view the welcome video, this right here, so you're doing it. Review the syllabus, read chapter 1, complete chapter 1 quiz, and post and respond to the discussion prompt. Okay, and then you'll see here all chapter 1 materials are due Sunday 1/24. So you'll see that the syllabus is very organized in this manner, and D2L will match that as well. Again, you'll see here that we will not have a WebEx class on the 25th because I'm giving you time to take your midterm. So everything is really marked, and you have all of the information that you need. So this is something that I want you to go into and look at, and we will talk about all of this in so much more detail, but I just wanted to cover it now at this beginning point. So I want to go back quickly, and I'm going to spend maybe the last 3 or 4 minutes going over D2L just a little bit. I want you to make sure that you are checking your announcements. If you cannot see your announcements, sometimes if you see this arrow right here and you click it, or maybe it's this one, on the student view, sometimes you can click it like this and you won't see the announcements. I've had that happen to students before. So make sure that you can see that. Here I will post general information. I will often post reminders for the week. I might put our WebEx link for the week, just to make sure that you have that there. So be sure that you are checking into this welcome page, these announcements. The content is where our entire course is kind of outlined. So first you'll see the assignment guidelines, which again, we're going to talk about in length, but I want you, if you're like me, when I was a student, you want to get in and try to understand these things sooner than later. And I want to give you the opportunity for that. All right, so there are the assignment guidelines, and then you'll see that our weeks or our modules are really organized by the chapter we're covering that week. So chapter 1, this welcome video, as soon as it's finished, will go right here. You have the syllabus. Sometimes, even though we are going to have a lecture or discussion via WebEx, I still will have additional materials that I think were important for you to look over. So those will go in here. I use a lot of media examples, and so I'll link to those here. You will see your quiz, and then finally the discussion board. So the week 1 discussion board, or the chapter 1, is one of my favorites because it helps us get to know each other a little bit. So you'll see that I've already done mine, so you can go in and read a little bit about who I am and how long I've been at Lone Star and kind of my education background. One of the things that is really important throughout all of the discussions is I don't want them to just be one-sided. So you'll see at the bottom here, not only do I want you to post to the discussion board, I also want you to respond to 2 other peers by the due date. And this just helps us have a little bit more of a conversation as well. So if we go back to content, One of the things that I have tried to do is I have tried to organize material very similar every single week. So you have the information, you see where everything is, and it starts to look really familiar for you. And I think that helps keep students organized. Couple of other things, your grades will be important. You can look here to see when your grades are updated. And other than that, between our WebEx link for class and this content page, the announcements and the grades, that's where a lot of your good information is coming from. All right, so again, just a quick video. I wanted to give you a little extra time in the week to get oriented to this class in case you've never taken a synchronous online class. What I'd like for you to do is review the syllabus, mark down if you have any questions. You can go ahead and go into the introduction discussion board. You can start that process. And then on Thursday, when we get to class, and you'll find that link for our WebEx class on D2L, I'll put it in the announcements section. We can talk about any questions that you may have, any concerns, anything that was a little confusing for you, and then we can hit the ground running with Chapter 1. So I hope this was really helpful. Take your time, get acclimated to the course, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, guys.